Hey guys, Twisterduck here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about what I think the next Overwatch meta might be, especially with some of the big changes that came to the PTR and Orisa, which will be coming out sometime either Tuesday or Wednesday of the week that this video is being recorded. And also the big Lucio change in the PTR, which pretty much reworked the way he functions. So that's definitely going to affect the meta. But after looking and playing around with these changes, I think I have narrowed it down to 3 potential metas that we might see. The first meta I think we might see is the return of the triple or quad tank meta. This was a meta that was loved by few, hated by many, but with Orisa coming out and so many shields being used, I'm afraid that what we're going to see is what some people have named jokingly barrier watch, because you would have Reinhardt's barrier, Orisa's barrier, you'll have Winston's newly worked barrier too. So that's a lot of shields that the enemy team will have to fight through. So it's definitely going to affect the game quite a bit. The tanks that I think we're going to see in that meta are Reinhardt, Orisa, Zarya, and Winston or Roadhog. Zarya, Winston, Roadhog I think will be switched in and out depending on how people want to run the comp. But if it is going to happen, probably Reinhardt and Orisa used almost on every map except for maybe King of the Hill. Also with the tank meta, I've also seen on the PTR some 5 tank, 1 support comps that have kind of dominated certain people in the PTR, which is a little worrying, because that would be awful for the game if that were to happen, in my opinion. But I don't see that happening. The next meta I think that we may see is kind of similar to the last one, but not full out tanks. It's a Reinhardt Orisa meta where they're both being used. Reinhardt shield break, Orisa puts her shield down. Her breaks, Reinhardt puts his shield down. I think that's what we may see happening with them going back and forth with shielding. But I think that would probably be used most likely in a traditional 2-2-2 comp with Orisa, Reinhardt, potentially Soldier, McCree interchangeable with a flanker like Genji or Tracer, or you could have 2 flankers, depending on how people want to run it. But I don't see that 2 flankers working, but you never know. And the supports for that would probably remain Lucio and Ana, with some changing potentially on future changes. The final meta, and the one I see the most likely happening because it's already kind of made a resurgence recently, and that is the dive comp meta, which involves, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it involves your team or the enemy team pushing hard into the opposing team fast and quick and try to strike and get a pick or 2 to get them ahead in team fight. This is also probably one of the hardest comps to try to run in Overwatch and to get it to work properly. So I don't know if that will happen at lower levels, but definitely for maybe the pro scene or diamond and higher, you could definitely see it happening. And with all that shielding coming out, the dive comp really negates most of that, because they can just dive behind the shield and pretty much make Reinhardt and Orisa useless. The only shield involved really would be Winston, and I've even seen some triple DPS comps recently of the dive comp, which would definitely be interesting if that happened. So those are my 3 predictions on what the meta could be. If you guys have any other suggestions or agree with me, I would like to know down in the comments below. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching, and this has been Twisterduck.